Okay, this lesson is all about collecting like terms as we're solving. So what does collecting like terms sound like we've done in the past? Polynomial stuff. Okay, so here I go. Hey, this has a P in it, or an M in it, and this has an M. Could I put them together? Yes. So 4M plus 8M makes 12M. Hey, this term has a 12M, and then this has more M's. Could I put those together? Yes. Okay, but they're not on the same side of the teeter-totter. Okay, so how can I get rid of this to move it over to that side of the teeter-totter? What would I do? How would I get rid of this? How do you get rid of a subtract M? Plus M. But what do you do to the other side of the teeter-totter? Plus M. So that is moving something over to the other side of the teeter-totter. Same idea of elimination. How do you eliminate stuff? Opposite operation. So what is 12M plus 1 more M? 13M. And now, how do I get M alone? I'd have to divide, right? Because it's times. Divide. And that is a perfect number. Does anybody know that multiplication? 5, yep. Okay. So now I want you to think about this. This is what I always tell my students. So I have T's over here and I have T's over there. Okay? And they're both on the different sides of the teeter-totter. I want to get them on the same side of the teeter-totter so I can put them together. Okay? Here's kind of my hint where I like to go. I always like to get rid of the one that's smaller. So there's 7T on this side and 4T on that side. So which one is easier to get rid of? Which one is the smaller of the two? 4T. How do you get rid of that? How do you move it over? Subtract 4T. Okay, so you're always doing both sides of that teeter-totter. Okay, now polynomials unit. Do you understand I can only put things together if they're like each other? So the only thing I can do on this side is do what? I can put this together. That's it. I can't put something together with the 30, right? Do you understand that? You can't put this T stuff together with that 30. That's the polynomials like term unit. So 7T, take away 4T, is 3T. Okay, does this make sense? Do you see it? I'm only putting T's with other T's. That's the polynomial like. Okay, now this is your yesterday's stuff. What are you going to do now? Yesterday. How do we figure this out? What do we go to next?
Cancel out the negative 30.
Cancel out the negative 30. So I'm adding 30. I can only put the 30 with the negative 30. I can't put the 30 with this other T stuff because they're not like each other. Negative 12 up 30 or 30 minus 12, same thing, equals 18. Divide So my final answer is 6. Okay, I'm going to do a check because this was a hard question. So let's do a check. So what does it mean to check something? It means plug in 6 every time you see a T. So here I go. 7 times, instead of T, I'm timesing by 6. Subtract 30. So instead of the T that was in the original, I put a 6 in because I thought, hey, T is actually 6 now, so I'm going to replace it. Okay, here we go. This is evaluation, so bed mass. So what is times here? 42 minus 30 equals 12. 6 times 4, 24, subtract 12 is 12. Does that look good? Does 12 equal 12? Yeah. We balanced out the teeter-totter. Okay, next one. Okay, so we have x's over here and we have x's over there, so that's my focus. I'm going to put all those x's together on the same side. Okay? So I told you my trick is kind of to attack or remove the smaller one. It's easier to remove something smaller though. So think about a teeter-totter. You can probably push off a smaller kid better than a big one, right? I don't know. Whatever makes you remember it. Okay. So which one of these is smaller?
-5.
-5 is smaller than -3. Okay. That's what I want to remove from the teeter-totter position. So how do I remove -5x? Plus 5x. Okay, so that's where my focus went. Okay, so here we go. I can only combine like terms. So what's on this side of the teeter-totter? What's the only thing I can put together? I can put those together. So what does that make? 2x. And you have a plus 4 because you couldn't put it together with anything. So it's still just there. Okay? Remember, when you're doing this stuff, something always disappears. So this disappears. And you get 10. If you're doing equation solving properly, every step you do, something disappears, right? Yeah. Now I'm going to subtract 4. That's my next thing to get out. Something has to disappear. So that disappears. So just a 2x now. 6. And I need x alone, so I need something else to disappear. I need the times 2 to disappear. Okay, does that make sense? When you have variables on both sides of the teeter-totter, focus on getting the variables only on one side. So in other words, get rid of them on one of the sides. My strategy is always trying to get rid of the smaller one. If it makes you think about a teeter-totter, you're trying to push off the smaller child. Easier. Okay? Once you have the variables all together, focus on the other stuff from yesterday. Okay, and then I'm going to do brackets here yet too.